Welcome back. Today is Friday. That means it is the big show, always a big topic on Friday, and the fortune cookie at the end to top it off and get you rolling into the weekend. So big topic today, how do you find the balance point between academics, right? Your kid's doing really well in school and taking homework seriously and getting ready for the exams and being engaged there, and all the extracurricular stuff, everything that happens outside of the school day, the sports, the arts, the volunteering, the mentoring, the everything else, right? And the family. I'm going to include the family in the extracurricular, right? Making the differentiation between everything that happens at school and everything that happens outside of school. So where's the balance point, right? Particularly during the middle school years, this becomes more and more relevant because there are more and more choices. Greater number of opportunity for kids to be engaged over here, maybe not necessarily with the family, right? But with all the arts and the sports and everything that's being offered on school sites. So still wanting kids to maintain academic excellence, right? So where's the balance point? Folks, great question. I don't have the answer for you, but I can guide you in a direction that may help you to find the answer that's going to be right for your child, for your family. Okay? Number one, don't take for granted the fact that just because your child was engaged in school before the middle school years and took on a couple of extras before the middle school years, that they can now handle the same load. Right? Things change. Greater number of classes. Maybe the requirements have increased, the expectation is a little higher academically, and the same can be true over here with the extracurriculars. And there's a tendency to say, well, maybe I'll just add one more thing to the after-school schedule. Well, you take the one more thing and you add it to a couple more hours of homework every night, and pretty soon your kids are up till the wee evening, and then they got to be waking up early in the morning. What are we leading to? Burnout, right? Which is a show I did earlier in the week, so go back and have a look at that. So number one, don't make any assumptions about the fact that just because it worked this way before today, that it's going to work this way every day afterwards. So kind of back up, take a look at that. Number two, need to start bringing your kids into the conversation about the extracurriculars. What is it that you really want to take on? Some kids have a tendency to say, I want to get engaged in everything, take on too much because they really don't know how long things take. That's normal. I see a lot of that with the kids and families that I work with. The opposite end of the spectrum, of course, are the kids that don't want to take anything on, right? They're either really engaged in their academics, or they're just doing average, but they don't want to take anything on that's extra. So two completely different challenges. Today, I want to speak to the child who's maybe getting to the point of being overwhelmed. So it's time for a conversation. Sit back and say, hey, what do we really want to take on? And it is a we. Right? Because you're still shuttling the kids back and forth to these different activities. It is a we, so it has to work for you as well. But really from the point of the child, what are you going to be most passionate about? What are you willing to be able to invest your time and energy in? And then let's stick with those. Let's limit it, right? And limiting it to the number of hours in the day. At some point, you've got to get some sleep. What is the magic number there? Okay? At what point are we going to call it an end to the day? Right? And then work backwards from there. So you've got a couple of activities. We've got the average amount of schoolwork because we want to maintain excellence there as well. So just bringing things back into balance again. That's the beginning of a discussion. All right? Those two main ideas. Don't take anything for granted as far as the schedule. Have a conversation about what your child is most passionate about, willing to invest the time, energy, and focus in. Okay? We're going to talk more about this. I'm going to bring it up maybe next week, the following week, because there's some other ideas that I want to keep in there, but I don't want to run over time. And got to make time for the fortune. So, it always has the one side to speak Chinese, so you can learn a Chinese word, but I wouldn't be able to pronounce it correctly anyway, so we're going to skip that. Here is the fortune, though. In youth and beauty, wisdom is rare. Again, you would think that they made these fortune cookies for the middle school years. Right? The youth, the wisdom, rare. The thing, though, about wisdom is cannot be shared with someone. You can't share your experiences with someone. And that's, I think, really one of the toughest things about parenting kids during this time. You've been there, you've done that in a lot of cases, but you can't tell them that. It really doesn't matter. Right? They just don't get it. They want to learn things on their own. So, again, whole different topic. We could talk about it maybe sometime here in the future. Have a wonderful weekend with your families. Take care of yourself.